You are only entitled to the gift of your choices. What happens in between your birth and death is up to you and is a result of the choices you make. Everything you do must be earned, learned, acquired, gained. We have two choices. We can have faith or we can fear. And that applies to anything we do. We can have faith in ourselves, faith in humanity, faith in the world around us, or we can be afraid. We can fear. And often too many people fear failure because they are afraid of what they don't understand, what they don't comprehend. We should never be afraid of failure. Failure is a stepping stone towards success. It helps us progress and improve. Often we learn more from a failure than we do from a success. And many times, we will progress that much faster and become that much better from a series of failures than we ever would if we had a series of successes. So we must befriend the failure we fear. Learn from it. Progress and improve and grow, and we will be better today, not because of the failures we have faced, not in spite of the failures we have faced, but because those failures have taught us life truths. They have changed us. We have had a change of heart, and that changes us and helps us be better. Welcome to Music, Motivation, and More, the Positivity Podcast. I am your host, Jerald Simon. I am the founder of Music Motivation and the creator of the Cool Songs Club. Today's podcast is titled, Are We Living in an Entitlement Era? Now, what exactly does that mean? What does it mean to be entitled? Are we entitled? Are our families entitled? Our neighbors? What exactly does entitlement mean? And how can we do everything we possibly can to earn the respect that we deserve out of life? And how can we help our children not be entitled or feel entitled to getting something for nothing? I'd like to start off by reading from my book, Perceptions, Parables, and Pointers, on page 33, a little excerpt talking about what entitlement means. This is what it says. Some people, sadly and mistakenly, feel they are entitled to everything. You are only entitled to the gift of your choices. What happens in between your birth and death is up to you and is a result of the choices you make. Everything you do must be earned, learned, acquired, gained, or achieved by your diligence, hard work, perseverance, sweat, sacrifice, and personal efforts. You must prove yourself to yourself and to others. Earn respect, earn trust, integrity, and honor. Work for the money you earn. You will be compensated based on what people think you are worth. If you want to earn more money, you must learn more and do more. Be of more service. You are not entitled to anything unless you prove you have earned it. I think, unfortunately, some individuals do feel a sense of entitlement, as if they deserve something they have not earned. In life, it's about paying the price. Oftentimes, we will look at someone who is physically fit, someone who is athletic, and we will want to have either their physique, their muscle, their strength, their endurance, but we don't want to pay the price and do what they have done to be physically fit. Because it does take sacrifice. It does take commitment. It does take work. And if we are not willing to work for something, then we do demonstrate in a small way that we have feelings of entitlement. I think sometimes we are so caught up with the haves and the have-nots. We look at those who may have more talent. They may have more material possessions. They may have more intelligence than we do. And that feeling of comparing or needing and wanting to be good enough, either in our own eyes or in the eyes of others, is what causes us to feel the feelings of entitlement. And yet, if we are going to be completely honest with ourselves, we must realize that if we have not worked, if we have not sacrificed, if we have not done whatever it is and whatever it takes to accomplish whatever we hope to accomplish, then we have not earned the right for the results of that sacrifice, that effort, that hard work. There is a reward that is given. Think of it as a prize. The prize can only be given after the pain and suffering and work has taken place. Sometimes we look at someone's success and we feel jealous, or we feel as if that person must be lucky. They must know the right people. Everything falls into place. The stars align and everything seems to work out for that individual. And again, that is our own attempt to justify the good things that happen to someone else when we feel that we deserve to have those good things happen to us, but we may not have paid the price as they have. And that's okay. But we cannot compare ourselves to others, and we cannot feel the feelings of entitlement. See, there is a growing gap. And it's not between the haves and the have-nots. It is not between the educated and the illiterate. There is a great divide between those who are willing to do the work, to put in the effort, to sacrifice, to save, to postpone momentary pleasures because they are looking forward in faith to the future and doing everything they can to not only focus on what they want to accomplish, but to come up with a plan and decide how they're going to accomplish whatever it is they would like to accomplish. For the Motivation in a Minute portion of this podcast, I would like to read on page 184 from my book, Perceptions, Parables, and Pointers. This is a quote by James Allen, and this is what it says. Circumstances do not determine a man. They reveal him. Now, we could include a woman and say circumstances do not determine a woman. They reveal her. Or a child. You see, the situation, it does not determine the individual. It will reveal the individual to themselves and to others. Every day we are making choices. We have decisions. Those little decisions that we make day in and day out, those culminate. And as those choices culminate, they begin to become mountains. They spike and peak and grow around us. Those mountains of past decisions and choices we have made, past thoughts, beliefs, values, habits, they become a part of us. Now those habits, they can make us and they can break us. They change the way we view the world. They change the way we act and the way we react to situations. And what happens as a result of that is that whatever we do and however we do it, the decisions that we decide to make on a daily basis, they have natural consequences. We have choices, and we must be accountable for the choices we choose. But those choices begin to pile up, one on top of another. They become a part of us. We live with the choices we have made. We progress or digress as a result of the choices we have made. We pick ourselves up or we stumble and fall because of the daily decisions we alone choose. And those decisions, they do determine the outcome of who we become. But it reveals who we are and who we hope to one day become. For the Music Within portion of this podcast, I would like to have us listen to Utopia. This is from my album, The Dawn of a New Age. It's a piano instrumental album. But listen to this. Listen to the music as it rises and falls, as we have the left hand descending lower and lower, and as we have the right hand rising up. I tried to create, in my mind, something that I thought would be utopic, which is why I called it Utopia. Listen to Utopia from The Dawn of a New Age. I'd love to know what you think. For the Poetry That Motivates portion of this podcast, I would like to read my poem, Don't Be Afraid to Work. This is from my book, The As If Principle Motivational Poetry. Don't be afraid to work. Don't be afraid to work. Get your hands dirty. Work all day long. Respect your employers and whistle a song. Don't be afraid to take charge, to lead and instruct, to teach guiding principles about life's fortunes and luck. Luck comes around after you plan and you work. Don't be afraid to do good. Take to your task, be focused and diligent, and do what you're asked. Don't be afraid to work. Love the work you do. Take pride in your role and do more than you've been told. And as you do, you'll enjoy the work you do. It's a wonderful sight to behold. It's interesting because we all have a work to do. And sometimes it takes us a little longer to find out what that work is, what we enjoy doing. But more than a job or even a salaried position, I want you to think in terms of what your life's work is going to be. You can think of this as your purpose, your mission. What is your purpose in life? Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a life's mission. On almost every book, on the cover and inside the book, I actually have quoted my own, what I feel my purpose and mission in life is. And let me read this to you. This is what I feel my purpose and mission in life is. My purpose and mission in life is to motivate myself and others through my music and writing to help others find their purpose and mission in life and to teach values that encourage everyone, everywhere, to do and be their best. Now, that is what I feel my personal mission in life is. I encourage you to find out what your mission in life is. Maybe you are an athletic coach, and your mission is to train the next generation of athletes. You want to help teach them how to be physically fit, how to be mentally sound and alert, and to be focused, committed, dedicated, how to work hard. Maybe you are an educator, and your goal or life mission is to help teach others, young and old alike, how to think, not what to think, but maybe you are trying to teach them how to think creatively, how to think deeply, how to think philosophically. Maybe you're trying to teach them and to use examples from the past so that they can learn in the present that will eventually help prepare them in their future, because they will learn from the lessons of the past, both the good and the bad. And as they learn from the mistakes of the past, they can then develop a roadmap for a brighter, more perfect future. Maybe your mission is as a spiritual leader, and you're trying to help teach about God, to teach about eternal principles. Maybe you are trying to help families, help husbands be better, help wives be better, helping children to not quarrel and fight. Whatever your life mission is, you can make a difference in someone else's life. And that difference that is then made in someone else's life will have a profound impact on your life. And it becomes this eternal cycle, this circle of influence. The more others are impacted and influenced by the good work you do, the more you are then impacted and influenced by the good things happening and the change you see around you. And that cycle, it's a ripple effect is really what it is. And that change empowers everyone to do more, to grow, to learn, to listen, to be better. And hopefully we can all try to do that together. I would actually like to read one more poem in this podcast. And this is actually from a new poetry book I just barely completed and released. I've uploaded it to Amazon, and soon you'll be able to purchase it at many different locations. But it is titled Poetry That Motivates. It's my second poetry book. And let me read the first poem from this book. This poem is titled, Befriend the Failure You Fear. Befriend the failure you fear. Do not fear failure. Befriend the failure you fear. Failure can become a dear friend if you let it, but most fear failure and eventually regret it. Failure is not a folly fool, to be avoided and dreaded and cursed. It is a gift we have been given, so we might improve the performance we've daily rehearsed. Each step backwards is a friendly failure, not a foe to be beaten and bruised. For with each failure we learn something new, though most feel discarded and used. Do not let failure frighten you. Face it with faith and might. Encourage it and learn from it, for each failure can bring you new light. We have two choices. We can have faith or we can fear. And that applies to anything we do. We can have faith in ourselves, faith in humanity, faith in the world around us, or we can be afraid. We can fear. And often too many people fear failure because they are afraid of what they don't understand, what they don't comprehend. We should never be afraid of failure. Failure is a stepping stone towards success. It helps us progress and improve. Often we learn more from a failure than we do from a success. And many times we will progress that much faster and become that much better from a series of failures than we ever would if we had a series of successes. So we must befriend the failure we fear. Learn from it. Progress and improve and grow, and we will be better today, not because of the failures we have faced, not in spite of the failures we have faced, but because those failures have taught us life truths. They have changed us. We have had a change of heart, and that changes us and helps us be better. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a great day today. Do your best in all you do. Every day, learn and grow. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail forward. The more we fail, the more we learn and grow and improve and progress. And that is all anyone can hope to achieve and accomplish in life, is to learn from their mistakes, to continually put their best foot forward. But even if they slip, if they trip, if they fall down, if they get hurt, they can pick themselves up, they can dust off the dirt, and they can ask themselves what they've learned from that experience and how that experience has helped them. Maybe it humbled them. It taught them. It prepared them for a future experience. And if we can look at life in that way, we will change and be able to help those around us as they change as well. Have a great day. Smile all the while. Be happy and continue to do your best in all you do. Thanks for listening. See you guys. Bye. Subscribe to Music, Motivation, and More, the Positivity Podcast with Jerald Simon, to receive updates about each new weekly podcast. Every Monday, a new podcast is released to help motivate and inspire individuals to learn, to grow, to do, to be, and become the very best they can become. These are all motivational messages that inspire men and women of all ages to do and be their best, to set goals, to work on improving who they are and who they would like to become. Thank you again for listening. Connect with us on social media to become part of the conversation as we all work together to motivate each other to do and be our best. Thanks for listening to Music, Motivation, and More, the Positivity Podcast. I am your host, Jerald Simon, and I'm grateful to have you listen to this podcast. Every Monday we come out with a brand new podcast, and you can listen to it on any of the podcast streaming sites available. Just search for Music, Motivation, and More, the Positivity Podcast with Jerald Simon. Any of the music that I've shared in these podcasts, you can listen to. All of my music is available on Spotify, Pandora, iTunes, Amazon, and any streaming site available. You can also check out my music books at musicmotivation.com. And you can find my poetry, self-help, and motivational books available from Amazon.com, from Barnes & Noble, and from all different online shops and stores. If you have any questions about the music that I create through my company Music Motivation, you can learn more at musicmotivation.com, and you can visit my website coolsongsclub.com to learn more about how I create fun, cool piano music that helps motivate piano students to want to play the piano the fun way, especially during their teenage years. I'd love to have you check that out. But thank you again for listening. Please feel free to connect with me on any of the social media sites out there. You can watch my YouTube videos on youtube.com/Jerald Simon. You can connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all social media sites at Jerald Simon. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, keep up the great work and have fun. See you guys. Bye.